Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So, as you can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to share with you how to make a rainbow cake. So, I'm doing it in a bundt pan. It's relatively simple. All you need is yellow cake mix, a box of Jello pudding, vanilla, or white chocolate. If you use the white chocolate, use a white cake mix, sour cream, vegetable oil, 4 eggs, and water, which is not shown here. So, I like this recipe because I can just add everything to the mixing bowl all at once and just let it go, and I don't have to worry about coming back and adding in separate ingredients. I did start with the cake mix just because in my head that makes more sense. Then I added the pudding mix, and I will say I had a big box of pudding mix. It calls for a 3.4 ounce box. This is a 5.1 ounce box. So I didn't add all of this. If you can find the small box, the 3.4 ounce box of pudding, use it and use the whole pack. Since I didn't have a small box, I had to use part of this, and I just eyeballed it to what I thought would be 2 ounces left in the package. Then I added a cup of sour cream, a cup of vegetable oil, 4 eggs, half a cup of water, and I turned on the mixer and let it do its thing. If I could talk, this would be a lot easier. So, yeah, and I did stop halfway through mixing it and scrape the bowl and then mix it the rest of the way. I didn't show that on camera. I thought I did. Apparently I wasn't recording, which with my brain fog lately, that happens. So, yeah. So this is what it looks like when it's all been mixed up. It is a little bit thicker than a regular cake mix would be because it has extra ingredients, but it is perfectly fine. And I will add, if you don't want to make this a rainbow cake, you can just use that batter and make a regular cake perfectly fine. Just cook it in a regular bundt pan and you just have a bundt cake. It's fine. But for the purpose of making this a rainbow cake, I did add food coloring to the batter. So I split my batter into 6 different bowls. That way I'd have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And I did do this as evenly as I could, and I will say that I had pretty much the same amount of batter in every bowl, because the layers came out even when I was spreading it out in the pan. So I'm happy. If you want to be really precise and measure this out, go right ahead. I'm just not one of those people. So yeah. this is it. When the cake batter is divided out, then I will add red to one bowl, orange to one bowl, yellow and green, blue and purple to each bowl, just so on. I thought I had a clip of me adding that food coloring to bowls. Apparently I just blanked on filming this day, or maybe something happened to the footage, I don't know. But the red was a little bit harder to get than it typically is, and if you use yellow cake mix, you will probably have to use a little bit more food coloring because it does have a yellow tinge, so it takes a little bit more food coloring to make it darker. And my blue would not turn, it turned turquoise and then it turned blue, and I finally did get it blue, but it took a little while. And usually purple is the hardest color to get with yellow cake mix, and I had no problem with color purple, so it was weird. But I used Wilton food coloring to get my colors. I will link the food color I used down below. And I ran out of the food color for the red, and I ended up having to use my squeezy bottle of the red, so yeah. So I just mixed up all my colors, and then you'll see what I do next. So this is what all the colors look like when they've been mixed up. Like I said, I finally got the blue. It took a little while, but I got it. And the purple was really dark. Darker than I'd planned, but whatever. So, now that I have that, I'm going to spray my pan. Since I am using a bundt pan, I am just spraying it with this, I think it was canola oil spray. I wasn't really sure. And I sprayed myself out, as you can kind of tell. And while I'm doing that, I have the oven preheating to 350. And then I'm going to start layering. And I want this in the color of an actual rainbow, or in the order of an actual rainbow when I flip this out. So what I did was I started with the red, then did the orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. That way when you get done layering it, the purple is on the top. But when you flip it out, when it's done baking, the purple's on the bottom. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. sorry about the camera shaking. I don't know why it was shaking, because I wasn't, or at least I didn't think I was. But this is what it looks like when all the batter's in the pan. Like I said, purple's on the top. Then I baked this, I think it took about an hour in my oven at 350. And it rose quite a bit, but after I let it set in the pan for about 5 minutes to cool off, it sank. I do not know why it sank. None of the reviews said anything about it sinking on the recipe. It didn't bother the taste or anything, it just sank. Okay, so now I'm gonna flip it out. I tapped it on the counter, ran a knife around it, put it on a cake plate, and did a little prayer and flipped it. And I got lucky, and it came out one try, no problem. So, voila, it came out. And it does look different because it wasn't a bundt pan, and my bundt pan was shaped a little bit different than a typical bundt pan, I think. But either way, it came out. And I let it cool for about 3 hours before I cut it. And it was still slightly warm when I cut it, but it wasn't so warm that it was going to fall apart. So this is what it looks like when I cut it. You can see all the colors, and I will have a picture. And I just served this with whipped cream and made it look like a cloud underneath it. But you can see all the colors. It looked really good, and that's how you make a rainbow cake. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you've not done so already, hit the red subscribe button down below. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.